Welcome to the Deep Dive, where we take your sources and really unpack the most fascinating nuggets of knowledge. Today, we're kind of embarking on a journey into the heart of Saurashtra. It's a region known for its rich history, heroes, philanthropists, and especially its saints.
Indeed. And the sources for this deep dive, they really focus on the profound impact and the unique nature of these spiritual figures. We'll be looking at how they're described not just as guides, but as catalysts for life-altering change, often in the most surprising ways.
Yeah, so our mission really is to understand why these saints hold such a revered place, what defines their unique form of compassion, their service, and how their influence is said to literally reshape destinies. You're about to hear some truly remarkable stories that challenge our understanding of, fate and selflessness. Let's delve into these accounts.
Okay, so our sources, they start by establishing a core philosophical understanding. While death is certain for everyone, that's a given, a connection with a saint, even just bowing your head at their feet, that can completely transform one's entire life. As Kavi Dad puts it, Janamaro Sudari J.
Janamaro Sudari J. That's a powerful phrase. It means what exactly?
It means something like one's entire life is set right or made perfect.
Yeah.
It's this idea of a fundamental positive overhaul of your existence.
That idea of life transformation is,
Yeah.
it's quite profound. And Kavi Dad, he also offers this incredible perspective on humility, doesn't he? And true value.
He does.
Yeah.
He says something like, even if precious gems are costly, they aren't eaten. People eat millet and wheat.
Right, and even owners of big mills don't wear expensive clothes, they wear simple cloth. It's about recognizing the true essence, not just the outward show.
Exactly. It sets the stage for understanding these saints aren't about pomp and ceremony necessarily.
Okay, so we've got that core understanding, but the sources also draw this fascinating comparison between, a mother's comfort and a saint's impact. How do they distinguish the two?
Yeah, that's quite profound. The sources compare a saint's nature to a mother's lap, which brings rest to a tired child. Comfort.
Okay, that makes sense. Comfort, rest.
But then it goes one step ahead of the mother. There's a poet, Rawatma Rawatsagat, who writes, "A mother puts to sleep, and saint awakens."
Awakens, so not just comfort, but rousing you.
Exactly. A mother provides comfort, maybe sleep, escape, but a saint, they rouse you to a higher state of awareness, of being. They awaken you to a greater purpose, you could say.
Building on that awakening idea, our sources then talk about the extraordinary potency of a saint's grace. Krupani Papan Mopardo.
Yes, the veil of grace from their eyelids. That's the literal translation.
So how does this grace actually manifest? What kind of immediate transformation can it bring?
Well, it's said that even a mere glance from them, just a look, can bring about profound, life-altering change. There's a line, Paloik Jolo Mer Koto Lakun Karya Salam.
Which means?
It means something like, just one glance of grace is enough to make millions bow down. It suggests this almost immediate catalytic transformation, altering circumstances that seem totally predetermined.
Wow, just a glance. That's a fascinating concept of immediate, profound influence. So what practical examples do the sources give us for this kind of transformative grace?
Well, that leads perfectly into the story of Gunatitan Swami. He's an elder saint from the Swaminarayan tradition. And the text, they describe him in winter, an old man, quite frail, really struggling with the cold after bathing in Damakund near Junagadh.
Right, I remember reading that. The descriptions, from Kavi Kag's poetry, they really highlight his physical vulnerability, shivering.
Shivering in the cold, very human, very frail at that moment.
So he's there, physically uncomfortable, trying to get warm, and then this chance encounter happens. A young Muslim boy named Bala walks by. He's carrying a heavy bundle of firewood, right?
Yeah, exactly. A young boy just trying to make a living.
And what does Bala do when he sees the shivering saints?
Well, this is the thing. Seeing them shivering, Bala, apparently without a word, just puts down his heavy burden. He lights a fire right there and warms the saints. It's just this act of pure, spontaneous service. No expectation of anything in return.
Just saw a need and filled it.
Pretty much. Then Gunatitnan Swami asks the boy's name, learns it's Bala, and Bala reveals his situation. He's an orphan, supporting himself and his sister by selling firewood. He apparently tells the Swami, "We don't have anything else, sir, just scraping by."
That's a remarkable act of kindness from Bala, especially given his own situation. So how does the saint's grace then, manifest? How does it transform things for him?
This is the turning point. Gunatitnan Swami looks at him and says these words, Bala, go my son, by the grace of my Shriji. From today, the burden of the firewood bundle has been lifted from your head forever.
Forever. Not just for today, but forever.
Yes. The sources really stress the permanence of this declaration, lifted forever. It wasn't just a temporary relief. It was a change in his entire life's path.
And what's astonishing is how immediate it was. Like the miraculous shift in Bala's destiny. He's walking away, just swinging his empty rope, right? And then he bumps into the Nawab of Junagadh.
Encounters him, yeah. And the Nawab is instantly captivated, not by Bala, but by his sister. The accounts describe her beauty really vividly. They use this poetic language like Roop Roop no Ambar.
Roop Roop no Ambar, mountain of beauty.
Something like that, yeah. A mountain of beauty, implying a radiance so intense it would make 100,000 suns pale. You know, poetic hyperbole, but emphasizing extraordinary beauty. So the Nawab proposes marriage, and Bala's sister marries the Nawab, Russell Kanji.
Wow. Okay, and Bahadur, that was Bala's real name, wasn't it?
That's right, Bahadur.
He was then given a job by the Nawab. And because of his loyalty and, well, the saint's blessings clearly playing a part, he rises up fast, becomes prime minister of Junagadh, gets the key to the royal treasury even.
Complete turnaround, from selling firewood to holding the keys to the kingdom, essentially.
And beyond Bala's own incredible story, what really cements this legacy, according to the sources, is how his transformed fate led to more good deeds, right? Continued public service.
Absolutely. That's a key point. Bahadur College in Junagadh, it stands today as a testament to that. He seemed to understand that his fate wasn't just luck. He was transformed by a saint's blessing.
Yeah.
And that created an obligation, an obligation to do good for others.
Yeah. So Bala's story, it just dramatically illustrates how a saint's spontaneous grace can instantly rewrite a life, turning despair into destiny. It really underscores that true compassion isn't bound by fate, maybe.
Exactly. It's a powerful illustration of that idea we mentioned earlier, that a saint can even, metaphorically, kick God's chest to bring about fortune that wasn't originally written in someone's stars. And this really emphasizes that true bhakti, true devotion, it's for the courageous, not for the weak of heart.
It truly highlights a radical kind of compassion. And this idea of courage and devotion, it kind of leads us to another fascinating anecdote the sources mention. It involves Yam, the god of death, and his sister, Yamuna, the river. How does that story unfold? What's its significance here?
Right, the Yam and Yamuna story. So it's monsoon season. Yam's passing by the Yamuna River, and she's in full flood. Roaring, powerful, filling her banks.
Okay, a mighty river.
Very mighty. And Yam calls out to his sister, "Hey, Yamuna," but she just ignores him. Doesn't even look, doesn't reply. She's completely engrossed in her own power, her own flow.
Interesting. So then what happens?
Later, Yam comes back, and to his surprise, Yamuna is calm, peaceful. The raging flood is gone. So he asks her, what happened? Why are you so calm now?
And her explanation was?
She explains that a newborn baby, Lord Krishna, or Kanayo as he's called, was being carried across the river. His father Vasudev was carrying him. And the child's tiny toe just dipped into her waters, simply touched the surface.
Just the toe.
Just the toe. And that single touch immediately stilled her tumultuous flow, calmed the flood completely.
Wow.
And Yam, witnessing this incredible power, the power that could calm his mighty sister, he vows then and there to confront whoever or whatever caused this. It sort of sets the context for how Krishna later became a target, this display of immense power.
That's a really vivid depiction of divine power. But how do the sources then connect this specific miracle, Krishna's touch, to the unique power of Sarashtra's saints? What's the link they're making?
Well, it's subtle but important. Well, even these divine miracles, like Krishna calming the Yamuna, are shown as part of a larger cosmic play. The sources seem to shift focus slightly here. They emphasize that the enduring, destiny-altering impact of the Sarashtra saints, particularly their unwavering, selfless service caring for cows, helping the poor. This kind of service is depicted as being somehow beyond the reach of time, or kal, which also means death.
So their service has a different kind of permanence, more lasting than even a divine miracle in some ways.
That seems to be the implication. Their dedication, like the line says, who endured suffering, concealed others' faults, and earned eternal fame. It suggests their impact ripples outwards and lasts in a way that transcends even these big, flashy, cosmic events. This unique kind of devotion, this enduring legacy of service that really sets the stage perfectly for our next story, an incredible story of service.
Yeah, the texts tell us about 3 Kathi saints, Apadana, Apavihan, and Apagiga of Satadar. They were riding together, wasn't it, on a stormy, dark night?
That's right. A really atmospheric setting. Dark, stormy night. And then they hear a cry, a girl's cry for help. And Apadena, he immediately gets off his horse to investigate. No hesitation.
And what did he find?
He found a young girl in a terrible state.
Huh?
Her head was covered in these severe boils infested with maggots. Just awful.
Oh, that sounds horrific.
It does, and her story was heartbreaking. Her own father, pressured by the villagers who were scared of catching whatever she had, they feared contagion. He had abandoned her out there in the wilderness, just left her. He'd only leave food from a distance.
Abandoned by her own family. And she says something quite bleak, doesn't she, about human nature?
Yeah, she highlights this harsh reality. She says something like, in this world, no one gives even poison without self-interest. A pretty cynical view born from her suffering.
Understandable given her situation. And then she mentioned this really improbable cure for her boils.
Very improbable. She said that only a black dog licking her head would heal them. But the stench from the boils was so unbearable, apparently, that no dog, black or otherwise, would even come near her.
So an impossible cure, basically, which sets up Apadena's incredible act.
Exactly. This is where the miracle happens, driven by just immense compassion. Apadena immediately puts down his rosary, he lays it on the ground, and then he prays. He prays to Surya Narayan, the sun god, and to Kaliothakor, the black god. And he asks them to transform him into a black dog so he can lick the girl's head and heal her.
He asked to become the dog himself.
Yes, willing to become the very thing needed, no matter how base it might seem.
And then the ultimate act of selflessness. He doesn't wait for a transformation. Apadena himself.
Yeah.
He licks the girl's head.
It does. Once, then twice, and then a third time.
And the result.
Immediate.
Yeah.
Astonishing. Boils just vanished.
Yeah.
Instantly. And new hair grew on her head right then and there. Complete instantaneous healing.
That's almost unbelievable, the compassion involved.
It's extraordinary. And the girl, completely overwhelmed, she bows down low before him, prostrates herself, calls him God.
Which is understandable, right, after witnessing that.
Totally. But Apadena's response, it shows his profound humility. He tells her, "My child, I am not God. I became his black dog. I did nothing else."
Wow. I became his black dog. He takes no credit for the miracle itself.
None at all. And the sources really emphasize this point, that this selfless act, done without seeking any credit, just pure service, that's precisely why saints like him are unforgettable, why they're truly revered. Apadena's acts, it reveals this ultimate measure of selflessness, doesn't it? A willingness to literally embody another's suffering, another's cure to bring healing. It really proves that the most profound miracles often stem from the deepest humility.
Absolutely. And Apajigo, who was there, his disciple,
Yeah.
he's described as a pragat peer, right?
Yes, a manifested saint,
Oh.
meaning like a living, tangible embodiment of divine power. You could feel their presence.
And he praised Apadena beautifully for this, didn't he? Describing how the sounds of sacred places, the drums, the bells, they resonate with their divine presence there in Sorab.
It really reinforces their deeply revered status.
Mm-hmm.
It's not just stories, it's a living tradition, a felt presence.
So looking back at these incredible accounts, what really stands out to you isn't just the miracles, maybe, but the profound selflessness and humility behind them.
Absolutely. That's the core, I think. Whether it's lifting the burden of a young boy's life forever, like
Yeah.
with Bala, or literally taking on the suffering of another, becoming the black dog, these narratives, they illustrate a concept of saintliness where compassion just, it transcends all conventional boundaries. It even seems to change what looks like it's written in stone, someone's fate.
Yeah. So what does this all mean for us listening to this? It leaves us with a pretty powerful thought, doesn't it? If a saint's compassion can bend destiny and defy the impossible, what hidden power might lie in the smallest acts of genuine, selfless service? The kind of acts that you might encounter or even offer in your own life.
That's a really important question, I think. It makes you reconsider the true meaning of influence, of impact. Is it always about the grand gestures? Or is it maybe more about those quiet, profound moments of self-sacrifice that just ripple outwards, changing the world one person at a time, just like Bala and the girl experienced?
Definitely something to ponder as you go about your day. We really hope this deep dive has given you some truly unique insights into the power of belief, of service, and the extraordinary lives of these remarkable saints.